All right, homestand back here at the Rogers Center, a place the Toronto Blue Jays may not be playing in the postseason. If they don't win today against the Minnesota Twins, Albert Vartanian, Justin Pooney, my main man Sean McCormick here to talk about what went down yesterday. The Jays lose to the Twins on 2 home runs by Royce Lewis. We'll get to Royce Lewis, but more of the same. I feel like I've seen that game 10 million times this season, but not really. And the but not really part is Gausman, who's usually good, wasn't great.
I mean, we did see Kevin Gausman struggle at points this year in certain games. And look, your ace wasn't your ace last night. It's as simple as that. You can't get 4 innings from your ace in a playoff game. It wasn't good enough. Gave up the 2 home runs like you did mention. And once again, the bats. The bats did not show up, did not drive in runs. Yes, they out-hit the Twins, but the Twins hit for value. They got 2 long ball shots via the home run like you mentioned, and that was the difference in the game, Albert.
What do you think of Gausman?
I would say Gausman was all right. You know, again, we've noted how the Twins approach Gausman, like they chase his pitches the least in the majors. So that was a big talking point heading into the game, and that's what they showed. He didn't find the zone with his fastball, and both on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball, the Jays made mistakes. Gausman tries to throw that pitch away, gets inside to Lewis. Lewis hits it out of the park. Bo Bichette runs through a stop sign, gets thrown out at home plate. You're looking at the 4th inning, down 3 runs with the bases loaded. We could be talking about a whole different thing here.
Right.
So, I mean, limiting mistakes is huge, especially in the postseason.
What a moment watching that Bo Bichette run to home play and seeing Albert at the bar going, go home. Oh, you idiot.
Yeah,
Why are you doing that?
I can't watch these things. This is the Homer edition. I shouldn't be wearing this thing.
Hey,
I'm trying to
wore
bring
mine
some good
yesterday, so
energy.
it's good.
I'm trying to bring some good energy to the Jays. You made a good point about, the Twins not swinging at Gausman pitches. They only swung at 10 of his 31 splitters. We saw it. They weren't chasing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that home run, the first home run that Royce Lewis hit, Gausman said he missed his spot by 3.5 feet. It was just one of those games. But, okay, he wasn't great. He wasn't the ace Gausman. But I still felt him and the bullpen, who came in and did a great job, gave the offense a chance to come back into the game. But when your top 3 guys go, what was it, 1 for 14?
Bichette had 2 hits, I think.
But he's not hitting in the top 3. He's the 4th.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right? You don't really want to see him in that spot, considering he's your best hitter. But if those guys aren't driving an offense, Guerrero, Springer, Bichette to a certain extent, you're not going to win any games.
Yeah, like you look at these bats, they have especially Springer, Bichette, and Guerrero, such big names across baseball, and this is the time where they make that money. This is where the time they have to show up, and once again, they have not, right? We get it. George Springer has, won a World Series in Houston. That's in the past now. He was brought in here for a lot of money for moments like this, to show up when it matters the most, and he hasn't yet. So the Toronto Blue Jays tonight, these bats need to show up. Otherwise, this dome right here might not see any baseball at all anyway, but they're sure as hell not going to see any baseball till next spring.
He was just talking a lot of smack about the dome.
Well, I mean, you have the Alec Manoah poster up there with all the bird shit on there, and that describes the Blue Jays
performance
bats
last night?
Exactly, full
Okay.
of bird shit.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the heat that's coming from your chest right now.
You know what? I see all these fans around walking downtown Toronto wearing Blue Jays gear, and I feel bad for them because they expect this team to be better, and this team is not.
But like I said, it's more of the same from the season. Everyone was expecting some sort of reset in the postseason. I just don't think that's how baseball works.
Yeah.
How do you just turn it around within one game? You're going away to Minnesota. I don't think they were expecting the fans in Minnesota to be that way. Even some of the Twins players were surprised.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Jays fans, too, in the crowd.
I know,
as
but
well.
the Twins crowd was rocking. And I think that's one of the things the Jays need to do in Game 2. You got to take that crowd out of it right away.
Well, yeah, it's huge. I mean, we're going to get to a few other things here on this chat, but I mean, that is one of the key things for me in this game is just you got to rock the Twins a little early, similar to what they did to Gausman yesterday, right? You coming out of the first inning yesterday, down 2 runs. We're sitting at the bar deflated. We're sitting there thinking like, uh-oh, here we go again, right? Well, I mean, again, the Jays only lose 3-1, but it was like a listless, like nothing performance. Not a lot of hits, a lot of soft contact, and nothing really to get my hopes up about.
It was like a lack of urgency, too.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the Jays were up for a postseason game. The Twins, on their hand, played fantastic defense, timely hitting. I mean, you can look at some of the numbers. The Jays actually out-hit the Twins, means nothing. Runners in scoring position, the Twins are 0 for 4. The Jays cashed 2. I mean, it means absolutely nothing. It's about when you hit. And the long ball, we mentioned yesterday, is so important in the postseason.
Well, even one thing is just morale, too, in the clubhouse. We saw when the TV would pan to the dugout, I saw a lot of dejected faces. John Schneider consistently had his face in his hands. Now, that could be because he knows he's going to lose his job at the end of the week if they don't win. But this is not a team that looked like they had confidence they can go into Minnesota again tonight with a guy in Jose Berrios who played at Target Field, right? Who has experience in Minnesota. That they have no faith they can win the game when they actually have a chance to win this game. But I just didn't see that from the morale of that team last night.
Okay, let's look ahead to game 2 then. Actually, I didn't mention the Kirby Puckett MVP award of that game. Royce Lewis,
Yes.
2 home runs.
Pablo Lopez.
He was good.
He was good. I mean, again, and that's just to be different than Royce Lewis, right?
I'm giving it to Royce Lewis. He breathes. You notice his deep breaths when he's at the plate? He's always like, you notice that?
You got to calm down.
Yeah, watch that today. It's very interesting. I pick up those small things. Okay, game 2 today. You mentioned it. Berrios on the mound for the Drays. Sonny Gray on the mound for the Twins. A guy who's pitched 184 innings, has given up 8 home runs. That's a problem, man. And he's got 3 different types of fastball. He throws a sweeper. I think he's going to carve up the Jays. I think the Jays got to do whatever they can to chase this guy, but they might have to wait till the 6th or 7th inning.
Yeah, look, it's a guy who has pedigree as well, right? Who's been there, who's been in high-pressure moments, knows what he is doing. The Jays' bats, like we mentioned with the Twins, they have to be patient. Wait for their right opportunity to strike. Now, it's been a difficult part for them this whole season about being patient, not swinging at everything. But when your season matters, you got to stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. Maybe Don Mattingly can get in their ear and tell them to relax.
What's Donnie going to say? He's played 5 postseason games in his career.
At least he's been there 5 playoff games. What's John Schneider done?
That's true.
Except
Well, he's
put
been
his
there,
hands
yeah.
in his
He's
face.
had 3
That's
playoff
true.
games.
No, that's an interesting point. Like, what can John Schneider do? Let's say to the lineup. Is there something he can do? Can he change something around? Can he, maybe put Bo Bichette batting behind Springer in front of Vladdy?
Yeah, you can move.
What do you do?
You can move Bichette back up to the 2-hole. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. Your top 4 guys are going to be your top 4 guys. It just depends on the
It's
order.
true, yeah.
So I wouldn't mind maybe seeing Bichette get back up to the 2-hole and seeing more at-bats if that's what it's going to come down to. You want to have your best players getting the most at-bats, and Bo Bichette was their best hitter yesterday despite blowing through that stop sign. So I could see that, but it doesn't come down to the Schneider. It comes down to the players, right?
Right.
We
No, it
talked about
does.
this.
It does.
It comes down to, Vladdy hitting the ball. It comes to, disciplined at-bats. Kirk swinging at high pitches, Varsho swinging in the dirt. We had a few of those issues yesterday where I wasn't happy with their plate discipline. And then it just comes down to the other side of the ball, too. It's like, yes, Sonny Gray is fantastic. I think 1 or 0 earned runs in 6 of his last 8 starts. Berrios gave up 4 runs to the Yankees in back-to-back starts, his last 2 starts. If the Jays give up 4 runs, if Berrios gives up 4 runs, I don't see the Jays winning this game.
You think he's the most important Jay today, Jose Berrios? Like, he
Yeah,
needs to go at
just-
least 6?
Exactly. You need at least 6, I'd say 5 1/3 at least. Something better than
Scoreless too, right?
Yeah, something better than Gosman. That has to be better than Gosman. I'd need to see 5 innings get into the 6th inning, right? Because you had to tax your bullpen a little bit yesterday too, right? So that is something that you got to watch for. And that, again, comes down to John Schneider. And again, we talked about it yesterday, talked about it the day before. The most pressure is on him. Yes, the players have to show up as well, but it's his decision-making right now. How is he going to decide, do I pull this pitcher out now? Do I adjust the lineup, right? That is up to John Schneider. They need a jolt of energy or something right now to get this team going.
I don't know what he was doing yesterday with the bullpen. In the 2nd inning, he had Genesis Cabrera come up to throw, Yimi Garcia, and it just went on and on and on and on. Anyway, the bullpen was great.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Jays bullpen. They've been great all season long, and they were great yesterday. Okay, let's have a prediction. I mean, I said that I felt like the Jays would lose game 1 and then bounce back. But after that performance, I'm thinking about the Vladdy double and the Bichette at bat after that, where he was swinging at everything that would never even be called a strike. And that at bat told me a lot about where this Jays offensive lineup is. Yeah. So I'm scared for today, but I'm not going to go back on what I said. I think the Jays pull it off today.
Yeah,
You said
I
Jays
was
in
already
2.
wrong. I'm already wrong. I'm going to, take the coward's way out. I'm going to say take the under in this game. I like the under in this game.
Doesn't
That's what I'm
sound like
gonna
the
go
street sweeper wants to hear what you got to say. No.
with. Yeah. No, I hate that guy. But yeah, no, under. Again, I lean Jays just because that's where my heart is. But I'm gonna go under in this game, under the runs.
I said Twins in 3, so Jays win tonight, so then Twins win tomorrow.
All right. Well, the game goes down again. 4:38 p.m. Eastern time is the first pitch. Sonny Gray, Jose Berrios, Jay-Z to win, or else you won't be seeing this place anymore.